Did you know there's a sign that carries within itself such profound spiritual wisdom that it can teach only through example? I'm talking about Taurus, the sign with a unique connection to practical spirituality. If you're a Taurus or know someone of this sign, prepare to discover 9 powerful spiritual lessons that only Tauruses can naturally convey. And if you stick around until the end, you'll understand why these people are true spiritual masters disguised as simple people. But be careful, if you leave now, you'll miss the chance to learn from the oldest and most solid wisdom of the zodiac. Taurus doesn't teach with pretty words or complicated theories. They teach by living, showing how it's possible to be spiritual in everyday life, without drama, without rushing. What if I told you that true spirituality isn't found in complicated rituals, but in the way Taurus embraces life with gratitude and patience? Then stay with me, because you're about to discover spiritual secrets that can transform the way you see the world. Lesson 1. The first lesson Taurus teaches is the power of spiritual patience. While other signs chase quick results in spiritual life, Taurus shows that the growth of the soul happens slowly, like a tree that grows strong because it has had time to put down deep roots. In everyday life, you see this when a Taurus doesn't despair when faced with problems. They take a deep breath, think calmly, and wait for the right moment to act. It's not laziness, it's wisdom. They know that the best things in life need time to mature. Imagine a Taurus tending a garden. They don't pull the plants to make them grow faster. They water, tend, wait. And when the flowers bloom, they are the most beautiful and long-lasting. That's how they handle everything in life. The superpower of this lesson is inner tranquility. When you learn to have spiritual patience like Taurus, your soul finds a peace that no worldly rush can take away. You begin to trust in God's timing, in the timing of the universe, and this frees you from the anxiety that consumes so many people today. Lesson 2. The second lesson is about finding the sacred in the simple. Taurus has a unique ability to transform the most ordinary moments into profound spiritual experiences. A meal, a bath, a hug. Everything becomes a connection with the divine when it passes through the hands of a Taurus. They do it naturally without forcing it. When they prepare food, they put love into every seasoning. When they hug someone, it's a hug that warms the soul. When they walk in nature, they feel every leaf, every breeze, as if it were a silent prayer. It's common to see a Taurus stop to watch a sunset or be mesmerized by the sound of rain. For them, this isn't a waste of time. It's nourishment for the soul. They find God in their morning coffee, in a conversation with a friend, in the smell of wet earth. The benefit of this lesson is revolutionary. You stop looking for spirituality in distant and complicated places and begin to see that it is right in front of you, in the simple gestures of everyday life. Your entire life becomes a sacred ceremony, a constant prayer, without you needing to change anything other than your outlook. If you're enjoying these spiritual lessons about Taurus, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss any content about the signs. And let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I love hearing about the location of our spiritual followers. Lesson 3. The third lesson Taurus teaches is gratitude as a lifestyle. It's not the forced gratitude some people use to appear spiritual. It's genuine gratitude, born from the heart and manifested in every gesture and word. Tauruses have a natural ability to appreciate what they have. They know that abundance isn't about quantity, but about the ability to appreciate. A Taurus can be happy with little, because they know how to extract joy from every small blessing in life. In everyday life, this manifests itself in beautiful ways. They're grateful for the food on the table, even if it's simple. They're genuinely happy when someone remembers their birthday. They value good conversation more than any expensive gift. This gratitude isn't feigned, it's felt. The transformative power of this lesson is immense. When you develop Taurus gratitude, your life shifts in frequency. You attract more good things because you recognize and appreciate what you already have. It's as if the universe is saying, "This person knows how to appreciate, I'm going to give them more things to appreciate." Lesson 4. The fourth spiritual lesson is about the power of loving persistence. Taurus doesn't give up on the people they love, nor does it abandon their dreams at the first sign of difficulty. They have a persistence that isn't stubbornness. It's love in action, faith embodied in concrete actions. You see this when a Taurus continues to believe in a friendship, even when the other person is going through a difficult time. They don't run away, they don't criticize. They stay there, firm, offering silent support. It's a form of love that heals, restores, and gives hope. In real life, this lesson manifests itself when they continue to pursue a project even when everyone else has given up. When they keep watering a seemingly dead plant until it sprouts again. When they don't let go of the hand of those they love, even in the most difficult moments. The spiritual superpower of this persistence is the ability to be a channel of healing for others. Taurus teaches that true love isn't a feeling that comes and goes. It's a decision renewed every day. And when you learn this, you become a source of stability and peace for everyone around you. Lesson 5. The fifth lesson only Taurus can teach is the value of full presence. While the world lives in a fast-paced world, always thinking about the next commitment, the next goal, Taurus shows how to be truly present in the moment. When they talk to you, they're their body and soul. They're not checking their phones, they're not thinking about other things. They truly listen to you, feel your energy, and understand your needs without you having to explain. It's a rare quality these days. This happens because Taurus understands that life isn't about what's yet to come, but what's happening now. They savor each moment as if it were unique because they know it is. A conversation, a meal, a hug, everything gets their undivided attention. The spiritual benefit of this full presence is profound. When you learn to be present like a Taurus, your life gains an intensity and richness you never imagined. Every moment becomes an opportunity for connection, growth, and joy. You stop living on autopilot and start truly living. Lesson 6. The sixth spiritual lesson is about the wisdom of natural rhythm. Taurus teaches that everything has its time. Each person has their own rhythm, and forcing these processes only creates suffering. They live in harmony with the cycles of nature and life. You can see this in the way they respect rest time, how they don't blame themselves for needing breaks. They know that rest isn't laziness, it's a necessity for the soul. When they need to reflect on something important, they give themselves the time they need without rushing. In practice, this manifests itself when a Taurus doesn't make important decisions under pressure. They take their time, think, feel, and consult their heart. And because of this, their decisions tend to be more accurate, more lasting, and more aligned with what truly matters. The transformative power of this lesson is the liberation from modern anxiety. When you learn to respect your natural rhythm like Taurus does, you stop putting so much pressure on yourself, comparing yourself to others, and suffering in anticipation. You find your own rhythm and live by it, in peace. Lesson 7. The seventh lesson Taurus teaches by example is the power of beauty as nourishment for the soul. For them, surrounding themselves with beautiful things isn't vanity. It's a spiritual necessity. They know that beauty heals, inspires, and uplifts the spirit. This doesn't mean they need expensive things. A Taurus can create beauty with what they have. A flower in a vase, a well-set table, a well-matched outfit, a cozy atmosphere. They transform any space into a more beautiful place simply by their presence. In their daily lives, you see this in the loving way they care for their home, how they choose their clothes, how they set a table for guests. Everything is done with love, with attention to detail, with a genuine desire to create beautiful moments. The spiritual benefit of this lesson is profound. When you learn to value beauty like Taurus, your life becomes more harmonious and inspiring. You understand that caring for external beauty is a way of caring for internal beauty, and vice versa. Your home, your appearance, your relationships, everything gains more light. Lesson 8. The 8th spiritual lesson is about generosity without expecting anything in return. Taurus has a unique way of giving that doesn't demand anything, that doesn't wait for recognition. They give because it's in their nature, like a tree that bears fruit without asking for anything in return. This generosity shows up in the little things, in the extra food they make when they know someone is coming over, in the time they dedicate to listening to a friend who is suffering, in the care with which they treat even strangers. It's a generosity that springs from an abundant heart. In practice, you see a Taurus offering their home to those in need, sharing what they have even when they don't have much left, giving advice without judgment, offering support without asking questions. They understand that giving is good for both the giver and the receiver. The spiritual superpower of this generosity is constant abundance. When you learn to give like Taurus without calculation, without expecting anything in return, the universe conspires to ensure you always have something to share. It's a spiritual law. Those who give with an open heart always receive much more than they gave. Lesson 9. The 9th and final spiritual lesson Taurus teaches is about quiet faith, the kind that doesn't need to shout to be seen. They have a deep trust in life, a certainty that everything will work out in the end, even when appearances suggest otherwise. This faith doesn't come from books or theories. It comes from the experience of those who have faced hardships and seen that there was always a way out. Taurus teaches that true faith is like breathing. Constant, natural, effortless. They don't talk about their faith. They live it. In their daily lives, this manifests itself in the calmness with which they face crises, in the hope they maintain even in the darkest moments, in their ability to find a silver lining in any situation. They are living proof that faith moves mountains, even when it's silent. The transformative power of this Taurian faith is unshakable serenity. When you develop this deep trust in life, nothing can knock you off center. You begin to face challenges with greater courage, to see opportunities where others see only problems, to be a source of peace for everyone around you. These 9 spiritual lessons from Taurus show that true wisdom lies not in grand speeches, but in the simple and authentic way of living. Taurians are spiritual masters in disguise, teaching by example that true spirituality occurs in everyday life, in simple gestures, in genuine love. Now I want to hear from you. Which of these lessons touched your heart the most? Which would you like to develop further in your life? Taurus shows us that we can all be spiritual teachers. We just need to live with authenticity, gratitude, and love. Remember, you don't have to be a Taurus to apply these lessons. Spiritual wisdom has no sign, no age, no limits. What matters is the willingness to learn and the courage to live by these profound teachings that make life more beautiful, more meaningful, and more fulfilling.